We passed! So I've got an MOT now, which is good. And so before going into sort of progress I've been making on the car, I thought now I've got the MOT, I'll talk through, I guess, what I'm planning to do. So my plan is that the GT becomes my daily driver. Now I don't do much mileage anyway, because I work from home. Even in lockdown, even out of lockdown, when I drive, I might drive to play tennis, which is a 12-mile round trip. I might do that 2 or 3 times a week. And I do about a 5-mile trip down to Tesco, maybe once or twice a week. That's about all I do. I mean, I really don't do much. Occasionally, I'll have a longer drive to see my parents or something like that. So I don't have a lot of mileage. So the idea is that becomes my daily driver. Certainly throughout the winter and stuff. The Stag, which is my favourite car still, would be then just used when it's dry, and just to preserve it and protect it a bit better. And I intend at some point to get myself a project car to do up and to do a better job than I've done on the GT. So I feel like I've learnt a lot, and my skills are improving, but I've still got a way to go. But when I look at the GT, there are things which I just feel I could have done better. There were bits I rushed which I shouldn't have, and all of that. So so my plan is for it to become the daily driver, but it's not quite there yet because it's not reliable yet, and I need it to be reliable, really, so that I'm not having to work on that the whole time when I'm trying to do a project. So so I'm going to be driving it for a few weeks, making sure I iron out the issues and working through, and also just making it more comfortable and stuff. So things that I want to work on, well, first of all, the electrics. I've had the short circuit. I've got my front light and my front passenger side and my rear driver side connected, and vice versa, and they should actually be, the front and back should be on the same fuse rather than opposite corners on the same fuse. So I need to just work through things like that, make sure the connections are strong, because I know they're not great at the moment. The seats are not comfortable, so they need new foam because you just kind of sink into them. And the amount of dust that gets thrown up from those seat covers, you kind of feel a little bit itchy from them as well, so need to look at that. Similarly, the carpets are not in great condition. On the Stag, I actually cut and sewed my own carpets for it rather than buying, and so rather than it costing me several hundred, it cost me about £50. So I'll probably go down that approach. I want to look at the door cards as well, which don't connect very well because it's so rotten, and the panels which go down the footwells and things like that. So I was thinking about rebuilding those and then covering them with vinyl. So I'll be looking to do that. I need to wax oil the whole car. There are parts of the underbody which haven't been painted yet, which I would like to do. I need to redo the exhaust bracket because, as pointed out, it's hanging a bit low. The fuel gauge under measures, so I need to have a look at that at some point. So fill up the tank and it shows it's just over half full, so I need a better indication there. The windscreen seal, if you go back a few, you'll see that there's a great gap in the seal at one point, and really I need to fix that longer term. Obviously I want to replace that bonnet cable, which is where the handle has broken, the starter motor bolt, which we discussed in a previous episode, the brakes. So for the MOT, I just replaced the hose that was damaged, and that got the brakes sorted, but I've actually ordered, and I have new hoses, new discs, new calipers, plus all the hardware to put them on. Now everyone has warned off getting the new calipers, and so what I might do is change over everything else but keep the old calipers on there, and I then just have spare calipers as far as I'm concerned going forward. So that's kind of what I'm planning to do. And and I need to repaint the car as well, because I did it early on and it's had some damage since then. So those are the things that I'm looking to work through. But for now, we can get on with having a look at the Overdrive. Okay, I'm not sure the best way to go around testing this, but I figure the first thing to do is make sure I've got connectivity on the switch. So that's in the off position, then we should get connectivity. So we should get connectivity when it's in the on position. It's not very consistent. Let's try it somewhere else. Let's try it along here instead. So if we look in here, what I don't understand, so if I put the negative in here, if I put the positive on the left hand side of this terminal, I'm getting connection, but if I put it on the right, I'm not. So you can see the negative is in there. If I slip this down on the left, but if I slip it down on the right, there we go. Okay, so we have got so we have got connectivity. So the switch clearly would appear to work. Okay, so there's the shifter in the car. So the next thing I want to do is test if when I turn the ignition on, if I've got power. So right now we've got the ignition off. Put the ignition on. Okay, and I'm going to earth it. There we go. And so we do have some power. That's not very good though. Now that might just be I'm not holding the connection well enough. Let's just hold that a bit better. I'm going to have to put the camera down, I think, to do this. Right, so what I want to do now, we've got it in the on position. I just want to check connectivity again because it was a bit weak with it connected up. And okay, I don't seem to be getting it. Okay, so we have that. I wonder if they went in far enough before or something. Okay, but we seem to have connectivity along here, so let's pop that back on. That seems to be working. Okay, well, I'm not convinced I am going to be able to get anything from up here. Maybe if I took all of this plastic out, we could see a bit further. Well, if I had to do that, this needs to come off the top. We could have a look at that, see if that gives us access. We have a just in there. No, so we've got carpet under here. So it's how big this hole is and where does the tunnel start. And
I mean, actually that, I'm just trying to feel around, see if I can find any carpet under here. No, so it looks like the carpet might not go in very far, which means the tunnel might give me enough room to get in from above. So yeah, we'll take a look at taking this off now. Well, it was held in with just one screw at the back, but you can see there I can't get at anything more with that released, so we'll put it all back together. I found 20p under there, and this bracket, I don't know what that's from, so if anyone can tell me. It was just lying there loose underneath. So I think I'm going to have a think about what to do about the overdrive, because I can't see easily how to test the rest of the electrics, and I wanted to test that before I get any further. I guess the next thing is test that I'm getting powered down to the solenoid for the overdrive, but I just can't work out how to make that test at the moment.